Mein Führer! Mein Führer, I can walk! We'll meet again. Don't know how, don't know when, but in the end.
So, how's your guys' week?
It's going.
It's going?
Thanksgiving break.
Nice.
I'm not in school, so I don't have breaks. It's break every day for me.
Huh, you illiterate. Fuck.
I have work. I gotta go to work today and tomorrow, and then, ugh.
I actually work
the
on
only day
Thanksgiving too.
Thanksgiving is one of the days I don't work on, but I do gotta
Get
work
that
on
holiday
Christmas.
pay! Get holiday pay!
Holiday pay! Yeah! I do work on Black Friday,
I get paid.
but I don't give a fuck because I'm a security guard.
Yeah, I actually have to work from 12 to 1 on Friday after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
I did Thanksgiving once, and then I got food poisoning from the turkey.
Was it just,
Yeah.
like, not cooked well?
I don't know, it tasted like crap. I just had white meat, so...
There's a possibility it just
The
didn't cook
dark
well.
meat, boy.
No, all the dark meat went to the owners of the house. I was just a plebeian asking for food. Plus they also served like really bad sausages, so I guess that might be it.
Oh, shit.
I did the day after I did a 12-hour trip to Reno, just vomiting the whole way through.
Oof.
I vomited while driving.
That's not a
before.
fun way.
I got really drunk on pickle vodka at a friend's birthday party, and the next day I was really hungover. It was like the first time I was ever hungover, and I was driving home, and I just kept I was driving. I was like, all right, if I think I'm gonna vomit, I can hold it in. I'll be good. And then I vomited, and it was in my mouth, and my cheeks are all puffed. I'm like, I can still do this, and then it's like sprung a leak, and it's like, ah, shit, and it just went all over myself, and and I vomited like 2 more times after that on my way home. Thankfully, it wasn't that far, but it was yeah, that was a day.
God. Did you puke inside the car, or did you just like roll down the window and just outside?
I just casually opened my mouth and vomit fell all over me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys about my Thursday. I had a pretty fucking awful Thursday.
How so?
All right, so Thursday morning, I had to get up at 4 a.m. so I can drive my grandpa to the airport. I had only gotten maybe 2 hours of sleep because I'm used to falling asleep at 2 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And so I get up. My grandpa's being a little fussy about going because, it's my grandpa. And, we get out the door at like 4:30. Takes us about, 46 minutes to get to the airport. The airport's O'Hare in Chicago.
Oh.
And that's not a really fun place to drive through.
I've been
It
to that
sucks.
airport.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It has
So
it has a wing dedicated to just planes.
so I drop my grandpa off. I leave the place, and there's like a sign saying, "All right, 294 is this way," and I take 294 to get home. And I follow the road, and then there's no exit for 294, and I follow it for like 15 minutes. No exit for 294. And so I end up in Chicago, like in like just a downtown area of Chicago. I'm like, fuck. This is like 5:30 in the morning. It's dark out. I'm gonna die. It turns out I was actually in like a not so bad neighborhood because they had their rent-a-bikes around there. So I was like, all right, it's not that bad of a place. They got rent-a-bikes. And I turn around. I get back onto a highway. It's like a double highway. It's like 90, like Highway 90 and Highway 94, and I'm supposed to be on 90. So I'm like, all right, and then it just splits off unexpectedly, and I'm on 94, and I'm going north instead of south. I'm like, son of a bitch, and so it ended up taking me 2 hours to get home on a 46-minute drive. That it should have been 46 minutes. It took me 2 hours,
Damn.
And so I finally got home.
I've been there, buddy. I've been there.
And so I finally got home, and nobody's home, so I'm like, all right, I want to record something for Tales from the Fic. You know, I've had this idea for like a little like mini-sode thing that I could do every now and then, which I might be doing later today at work since the place I guard at is closed. So I'll probably just like, you know, hide in my car and record it really quick. It'll only take a few minutes, but I try to record it, and my dog's having none of that fucking shit. He's like just clawing at my door, like whimpering, like, "Yeah, let me the fuck in." So I let him in, which is a bad idea. And I try to, you know, record it again, and he's still being a prick. So I bring him outside, you know, just have him wait outside. It wasn't that cold out, and I do the whole recording. I do the whole thing. It took me like maybe 10 minutes. Strained my voice because of the voice I had to do for it, and I look at Audacity, and it hadn't recorded.
Oh, God.
I was like, son of a bitch! I threw my chair across my room. I was like, fuck! And
No.
I let my dog back in, and I tried to do the recording again, but like my voice is strained to hell. I didn't warm up or anything, so I'm fucked. And then I get a call from my mom saying that my brother like sprained his ankle at school, and then they go to the hospital later, and it turns out he fractured the damn thing and tore tendons and shit.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, he's like in like a crutch and shit. He's sad that he can't do track this year. It sucks, but yeah, that was a shit Thursday. I also like banged my knee on a thing at work that day too. It sucked.
Well, your week is, my week, I should say, is nothing compared to yours. Just a tiring week.
I should think not. Okay, I want pity. Don't try and steal my pity party, Eric.
I will trick or treat for UNICEF for the Frank Margarella pity party.
Thank you. That's all I require.
Yeah.
So, let's start the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tales from the Fic, episode 5. Today, our topic is Transformers, and with me today is Keith McIntyre.
You.
And our guest, Erich. How do you pronounce your last name?
Araujo.
Okay, I thought it was like the J was like making H sound. Like I thought it was like Araujo.
No, that happens to me a lot. And I was like, nah.
Because it looks like a very Hispanic surname, so I just you can't assume.
It is very Hispanic, but just not Spanish.
All right, so I don't really know much about Transformers. I never really grew up watching the show. Like I watched like this one like cartoon of Transformers where there was like a mini Transformers that these 3 teenagers had, and they would like turn into like a bicycle and a skateboard or whatever. That's what I watched, and then I saw the Michael Bay movies, and those were okay.
I grew up on Beast Wars. Wait, those are Transformers Beast Wars, which are pretty much the most awesome 3D animated cartoon ever.
Is it anything like Zoids? I watched a lot of Zoids.
It's a bit like Zoids.
I never watched Zoids, but I like religiously followed the Beast Wars. I even have a little Rhinox action figure, but it's too far away for me to get it.
Yeah, no, it was. I definitely enjoyed that show, and then I kind of went back and kind of watched cartoons a little bit fairly recently, not for this show, just out of interest for a large part of nostalgia consciousness that everybody like freaks out over. So I was like, gotta check this out. Pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was the best thing ever. That place is reserved for the Thundercats, which hopefully we'll do eventually. But I mean, it was all right. I liked it all right.
Did you watch Transformers Prime?
I did not.
Oh, such good series, man. It's really good. The anime ones that they did in like the late 90s to early 2000s it sucks. But Transformers Prime is really something else.
Huh. Got to check it out then.
Goddamn right.
Alright, so, while I'm busy looking up a fan fiction for our fan fiction of the week, Eric, would you like to start our show with your fan fiction?
Alrighty, so, as I've told you, like, I started this thing out with a plot outline with the intention of probably making it into, like, a full-blown script yesterday, but Morrowind kind of got in the way, so I'm gonna try to wing it as best as I can. Okie dokie, so the setting starts out when, in Beast Wars, when Optimus Primal first puts on Optimus Prime's Matrix. Alright? Primal puts on the Matrix, and then he is secretly teleported to the ether. And then Prime, in the past, feels Primal's gorilla hand on his robotic body. He is moaning, he is being pleasured. But, oh no, he is also pleasuring his longtime girlfriend, RC. He accidentally moans and groans. Primal. RC backhands him and says, I didn't know you were gay, but I guess I'm gay now because I had gay sex with you while you were having gay sex. Prime doesn't feel or see her. To him, the backhand was by Primal. This is getting a little confusing because of their names. So, they continue doing the sexing for days and days and days. Finally, Prime is called out to battle, and then he continues doing the sexing. But instead of sexing Primal, he just anally fists the Decepticons. He backs Megatron into a corner, being the last of the Decepticons to fall under Prime's heavy-handed anal fist arm. He says no. Prime does not hear him. He fists Megatron to death. Cut to the ether. Primal is fading away because Megatron is dead. He no longer has a purpose in life. Primal kisses Prime a last goodbye and sings the Don't You Forget About Me song. It's a bit cheesy. Finally, Prime awakens. It was all a dream. But oh no, Shia LaBeouf awakens. It was all a dream. But good God, plot twist, Michael Bay awakens, and it was all his dream. Finally, a 40-year-old obese fan awakens. It was all a nightmare. It cannot be unseen. He grabs his limited edition Megatron scale replica gun and fires a dart. He does not die. He hangs himself and then he dies. The end.
Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Oh, working man.
Oh, nice.
It was a bit iffy in the beginning. I didn't know what direction I could take it in.
I like the direction you took it in, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
Thank you.
Alright, I found one, and I'll send that to Eric later at the end of the show. Eric, if you want to read our fan fiction of the week, would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll do that at the end of the show. Keith, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Alright, so during the wars on Earth, during a ceasefire for Unitronian Peace Day, the Decepticons and the Autobots decide on a truce. And so the leaders of the Decepticons, Megatron and Starscream, meet with Optimus Prime to discuss a ceasefire. And while they are discussing a ceasefire, Megatron and Optimus Prime's faces come closer and closer together. And Starscream says, "Well, why don't you two just fuck then?" And Optimus Prime was like, "I never thought of that." And Megatron was like, "We should do that." And so the giant metal table they're sitting in front of, between them, suddenly breaks apart, and a giant cannon extends from Megatron's crotch, and a giant cannon extends from Optimus Prime's crotch, and they begin to smack the cannons together, and Starscream was like, "Ooh, I want to get in on this!" And so a giant cannon extends from Starscream's crotch, and they start hitting the cannons together. And then they start grabbing each other's cannons and start rubbing the cannons. And after a few minutes of rubbing the cannons, Starscream says, "Oh, I'm going to shoot!" And then Optimus Prime says, "I'm about to roll out!" And then Megatron says, "I will get you, Prime!" As he points cannons towards Prime's face. Prime points a cannon towards Starscream, and Starscream points his cannon towards Megatron, and they all shoot their load and they all die because their heads blew off because they were jacking off fucking cannons.
That was great.
That was pretty good. Good news, Sarah just joined us.
Yahoo!
Hooray!
The best
Hello.
friend, Sarah. You're a cool guy. If you don't do the show, I threaten to make you die. I'm not a criminal.
That's what you say now.
So, Sarah, since we just finished with Keith, would you like to go next?
Nah. Finishing it up. You go.
Okay, you're finishing up your story?
Yeah, I need to make it extra delicious.
Okay.
Extra saucy.
Alright, I guess I'll, Sarah, I am really glad you can make it to the show because I'm really proud of my story. Because I don't want to tell the title right now because to tell the title would to give away everything. So, this is my Transformers fanfiction. Starscream was fed up. He had no respect, no friends, and no attention. Being the Beastman to Megatron's Skeletor was not the best life. As per his usual routine, Starscream spent the better half of his day on Tumblr, perusing animated gifs of Supernatural and Sherlock, usually the ones that imply incestuous or homoerotic relationships, because this is Tumblr. Then he came across something that piqued his interest. There had been a movement that's been going on for a while now that only now had Starscream come across. He had come across the transgender rights and acceptance movement. Starscream thought for a while, man, if only I could be as cool and accepted and, well, as getting as much attention as these people so rightfully deserve. Well, he sighed and he howled in self-pity and quietly sobbed as he moved on to cat memes. After giving himself some time to calm down in a sea of mind-numbing 2-second gifs of a shirtless Robert Downey Jr., Starscream hatched an evil plan. Cackled the Decepticon. The next day, as Megatron and the other Decepticons were sitting at a table, enjoying a fine luncheon of sandwiches and lemonade, Starscream walked into the room, wearing what I can only describe as the most racist thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. He was wearing a conical rice hat, he had 2 chiclets as buck teeth, and he put tape on the sides of his eyes, even though they didn't really do anything, because he was made out of metal. He He walks out, and Megatron says, "Starscream, what the fuck?" Starscream replies, "My name is no longer Starscream. It is now Japan McAsia. I realize that I'm actually a transracial Japanese man. Pretty cool, right? My struggle." At this point, Megatron puts his hand to his face. "You fucking idiot!" Starscream replies, "You're just being transphobic. Shut up, you cishet Decepticon." "I'm not transphobic. Transgender is an actual proven phenomena. Physical sex and gender are two different things, and can be total opposites on the genetic level. Transracial is just a way for bored, cis, straight Decepticons like yourself to feel special, but you're just being a fucking racist. Where you are born is not determined by your genetics." "But I want attention, just like these cool trans people. I'm not funny, talented, or special in any way. How else am I supposed to get attention?" "I don't know. Fucking kill yourself. You're the Beastman to my Skeletor. Nobody loves you." And then Starscream got inside of his Honda Civic and drove it off of a bridge, drowning in the lake below. Then the title fades in. Transracials, racists in disguise.
You're gonna make some poor Tumblrinas very mad with that.
Fuck them.
4chan for the win.
I don't want to send that message. It's the dumbest thing that people do. "Oh, I really like Japanese culture, therefore I should have been Japanese. Please refer to me as a Japanese person now."
Oh, God.
It's...
Without being able to actually speak Japanese or understand anything beyond the surface level of the culture.
It's... How do I express how incredibly racist it is? Okay, like, transgender, I understand. It's, it's gender identity and physical sex are two separate things. It's just a thing that's existed for thousands of years. It's proven. Transracial, like, if a transgender person wants me to refer to them, if it's a male to female, they want me to refer to them as a female, then that's fine. Because, when I say hi to Sarah, I say, "Hey girl, what's up?" Or I say hi to Keith, I say, "Hey dude, what's up?" I don't say, "Sup chinky" to my Asian friends. I don't say, "Hello my black friends." Who the fuck says that?
I didn't know this transracial thing was a thing.
It is a thing, and it's so dumb.
But God.
And I'm really hoping I hope I pissed off the people I wanted to piss off.
Is this like exclusive to Tumblr?
More or less.
That explains a lot of it.
Yeah. Sarah, are you ready?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So this will be the I think this is the first time you've actually had something written beforehand.
I know. It's brilliant.
5 episodes in, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys.
One small step at a time.
We can do it.
Alright. This is called A Heart and a Spark. Optimus, I wish you were smaller, pouts Sam sadly and flirtily. Why is that, Sam? Asks Optimus Prime, giant transforming robot truck alien from outer space. Because I can't kiss you proper because you're too big, Sam says with a wink. I'm sorry, my cute little human. Optimus's voice box crackles huskily. I think Ratchet has a shrink ray, Sam says excitedly. Yes, he does. I will get it and use it so we can kiss. Optimus does get the shrink ray and makes himself human-sized. hugging Sam hungrily but carefully because he is still a soft human. Yay, it worked! My boyfriend is my size, Sam yells. Not quite your size. Optimus's engine purrs as he kisses Sam. Hot metal mouth to soft, warm human mouth, passionate and sexy. They French kiss a lot. Sam's tongue to Optimus's cord-like tongue, because he's not really human and he doesn't really have a tongue. And they exchange fluids. It's kind of gross. Pant. Oh wow, Optimus, that was hot. Sam pants. Huff, huff. You're a good kisser, Sam. For a human. Optimus huffs. For a human, huh? Sam says, angry at being compared to big metal robot aliens. Yeah, and that's great, Optimus says, kissing Sam again to make him not mad anymore. And it works, and they keep kissing. Sam moans, and Optimus purrs, and as he keeps touching Sam everywhere, he starts to taste Sam, his neck, his six-pack, and then lower. Down there lower. With expert metal fingers, Optimus Prime keeps touching Sam until he is but nothing but a withering, wiggling, human-like worm. And then Sam gives a big shout, "Ah!" and comes all over Optimus's hand. Huff, huff, huff. That was so sexy, Optimus says, his engine still purring loudly and his front panel of flames covered with Sam's cum. Pant, 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 Sam pants, slowly crawling towards Optimus. Now it's my turn. That's it.
That was great.
That was beautiful.
Oh man.
That was fun.
Although I have to ask you, how does Optimus kiss Sam through his metal plate, his face plate?
You're gonna have to use your imagination with that.
He just kind of rubs the faceplate across his face.
I mean, it depends on what version of Optimus Prime. Because I've seen one where like he just has a metal plate over his mouth, or one where he actually has a metal mouth.
I've seen that before, yeah.
Yeah, on Transformers Prime.
And like the cartoons, they just draw a mouth on him.
He's got like big, like puffy lips and like perfect teeth and a tongue. He's like, I'm Optimus Prime. Also, I wanna like, I was thinking about this back to the Twilight episode. I'm really surprised and proud of us for like never once saying it's still a better love story than Twilight. I am really proud of us for that.
Yeah.
So, Eric, did you get the fanfiction I sent you?
Oh, I closed Facebook down.
Okay.
Oh, got it. Clicked on it. Close Facebook. Okie dokie. So this one is called Stop Licking My Castle. Starscream was really happy today because he met a merchant on another planet who was selling these adorable things called tribbles. Starscream liked his tribble very much because of the purring was very soothing and made him forget the horrible rape that Megatron had gave him every night. The tribble was his only friend. So Starscream went back to the Decepticon base and let his tribble friend run free. However, ... total eclipse of the heart, ... give me your face, ... Starscream did not know these tribbles reproduced really quickly like Blur. When he woke up one morning, he found his carpet covered in tribbles. Oh no! As Megatron went into Starscream's room for some good old raping time, he was a bit bewildered by the furry things on Starscream's metal carpet. Starscream, what are these? Megatron questioned gloriously, while picking up a tribble gloriously. Starscream said, "They are my only friends!" And Megatron laughed gloriously. "You realize these things are only probably using you for your between your legs," said Megatron gloriously. And then Megatron raped Starscream gloriously. While Megatron was busy gloriously raping Starscream, running loose in the bed, they got up to. They got into every nook and cranny as they reproduced faster and faster. Faster than Starscream gets through everyone's beds. They soon found themselves tumbling out of Soundwave's chest thingy. You know, the one he keeps his children in. Skywarp thought they were so kawaii, but Thundercracker hates weeaboos, so he took some tribbles in a bucket like Megatron's glorious head to the very top of the Decepticon base and waited for the Autobots to arrive. The Autobots would probably be distracted by these weird fuzzy things, because they are all secretly furries. Indeed, when the Autobots drove past, the TC threw the tribbles at them. They all started having sex with them. And then Snake Eyes jumped from the sky and said, "Stop! I forbid this!" And him and a man in a fancy white suit cut up all the Autobots like sushi. Stop licking my castle. Meridian City. Back in Starscream's room, he was finished being raped by Megatron, and was very sad that all his tribbles were gone. He decided to go on Facebook to see if anyone on there loved him, but he still had no friend requests. Then he checked his emails, and there was only one in his inbox. It said, "Dear sir, I have a Nigerian general named Unash Olioli with 30 million American dollars to put in your American bank account. You are a very lucky person because I have chosen you to receive this money. I cannot use it for it is cursed, like everything in Nigeria. However, Americans and robots are not cursed, so I can give this money to you. Please take my money. If you wish to take my money, meet me at the Eiffel Tower tomorrow morning." So, next morning, Starscream went to the Eiffel Tower, where a mysterious man was waiting for him with a suitcase. "Hello, I am Nigerian General Inush Olioli. Are you here to take my money? Please take my money. My son is crying." As soon as Starscream took the suitcase, something very strange happened. The Nigerian general before him became all swirly, and rainbows fell from his ears. The slut looked up and saw a huge head with a magnificent chin floating through the sky. Rainbows were swirling around it, and letters were dropping from its mouth and crushing French people all around him. Soon rainbows had engulfed the sky, and the world and Starscream materialized in the Decepticon base with tribbles all around him. "Roll up the tribbles," said a deep, ominous voice, "and then you may lick my castle." So Starscream began to roll up all the tribbles, and they turned into reptilians, and Starscream was scared of reptilians. "No, Starscream," said a deep, ominous voice, "you are the reptilians!" ... "Yep," said Ratchet. "Looks like Starscream overdosed again." The end.
Well, that was horrible.
Wow.
I just want to say
That was a thing of beauty.
I just want to say none of us approve of rape jokes. They're not fun. This is just stuff. I don't proofread this stuff.
It didn't sound like rape though. I mean, it was fairly.
Well, it was just making casual references to it. I'm just saying as like a general like blanket statement that I don't really like. Yeah, I have refrained from putting jokes like that.
Sound
in my
very
content.
rapey to me.
That's kind of the weird, awful thing about bad sex fanfiction is that they're like, look at this, it's a rape scene. Look how sexy it is. They both want it. And it's just like, what? If they both want it, why are you calling it rape?
Yeah, you can just call it like dirty dick downins. Oh, by the way, this was written by Mr. Jizig. That's MRJIZG on fanfiction.net, so we don't get sued.
Wouldn't want to get that 5 episodes in.
Wow, this was definitely an episode.
Episode and a half, that's for sure.
More
A
or
lot of
less.
robot sex.
Yeah. And making fun of people who think transracialism is a real thing. Fucking dickheads. It's gonna in like 30 years, people are gonna look back and like, man, that guy was really ignorant. I'll still stand by my stance. So, I guess we don't really have much else to do but to close out the show. So, Keith,
Yo.
what you doing?
You can find my stuff at soundcloud.com/PreacherCasey or at facebook.com/PreacherCasey. Also, be aware the Shattered are putting out a Christmas album. It will go live on Bandcamp the day after Thanksgiving. So
I gotta work
be
on my
look-
Christmas album.
All right.
What? Yeah. So it'll go live day after Thanksgiving. Be on the lookout for that. And you can find me on Twitter at Shattered Human.
Sarah, what's up?
I don't understand Transformers anatomy.
There you go. Eric,
Yes.
would you like to say anything to close out the show?
Well, I don't have anything going on for me in terms of, I mean, I guess you could follow me on Twitter as Eric the Awesome. I never post anything. This is the first time I'm logging in for like 3 months. But in a closing statement, don't let Optimus Prime finger you while he's asleep.
How does he do it when he's asleep? Is it like an automatic thing?
It's kind of like sleepwalking, except
Ah.
fingering.
And you don't want to wake him up, so you just kind of gotta let him do it. Yeah,
I gotta-
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, and I am Frank Margarella. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Margarella. You can follow my website at Turtlecade and go to turtlecade.com. And I guess that's it for the show, guys. You can all go home and feel nice and cozy today. God. Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the show this week. This week our music was, of course, by Kevin MacLeod, unaffiliated with us completely. We got his music from Incompetech.com. We've got some music from other sources. I think we had a MIDI score of a different song in there. The music we used at the very beginning that Keith was singing over, that's from the movie Doctor Strangelove, directed by Stanley Kubrick. And of course, our intro theme is Monokuma's Lesson from the game Danganronpa. Your hosts today were me, Frank, Keith, Sarah, and our guest, Eric. You can follow all their stuff and everything I said before, except for Sarah, because she wants her goddamn privacy. Anyways, the show art that we're using for this week is by Will Stamper of Stamper TV on YouTube.com. He was kind enough to let us use a screen cap from one of his animations about Transformers. I think it might be the only animation he has about Transformers. I'm a big fan of his. He's a great animator, a great voice actor, and I really appreciate him giving me permission to use that. So thank you, Stamper. Everybody else, I don't thank you at all, except for the people who I just mentioned. I thank you, but audience, I don't thank you. I love you.